Sadia Khan is some kind of coach for online dating, psychologist. She has a bachelor's degree. Some things came out about her.
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck it if you have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
So she's talking to a woman because she's fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go on.
And I can do it on your wedding day and your birthday.
Okay, well,
and the
we'll
day
see.
After.
Okay.
I've been in situations where he's been with you in a social setting. He'll call me after.
This is the biggest scandal that Sadia Khan doesn't want you to know about her. She preaches on her page and on her content that she's a high-value woman. She can teach you how to attract a high-value woman if you're a man for thousands of dollars for one-on-one coaching. Let's see how much she values herself as a woman.
The main thing I would say to be a high value woman is always you have ability to reject attention.
Babe, when can I have sex with you? You're so long. I need a substitute. Oh, wait, it's mainly me. You just happen to be there.
The third step towards becoming a high value woman, and this is genuinely so important, it's self-awareness. Now,
Girl can choose any man known in Dubai, period. Who else has a side chick on this level? Gives them no stress. Told you I'm such a side chick.
No way. No way. We can't have a normal convo without you talking about hoes, relationship, marriage, cheating, murder. Heal, man.
And then she says, welcome to Sadia. Hey, I appreciate that.
That's crazy.
That's
only one thing that all women want.
And just to marinate, all right, won't be long. Get excited. Just FYI, I'm not taking any more 11 p.m. school night appointments. I still haven't caught up on the missed sleep. You had fun, though. You don't know I might have hated it. I'll leave my car running next time, so point switching it off.
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck his dick if you have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
I'm not gonna lie. Well, the first line she said was pretty hot. I'm not gonna, I got a semi-choke. I've seen this girl's videos before.
I haven't.
She charges like 8,000 USD for a 1 hour video call with her. Yeah, that much. So she does a lot of coaching. I actually looked up her website. Video call with Sadia, high value man program, online courses, masculinity mastering. So she tells men how to be men. She got a high.
Exactly right. So she's like, think about it. A woman teaching a man how to be a man and find the right woman. Does that make any logical sense? Okay. You got to really think about that one, right? And that's kind of the big thing there is like, I'm sure not all female dating coaches are bad. I'm sure some are fairly decent, but it's really, really hard for a woman to really teach a man the true proper way on finding the right woman, especially if she still hasn't been wifed up or has found her husband, right? Now, if no one has wifed her up or has what you want, right? The biggest thing that you have to look at when it comes to the space, the dating space, right, is if you're looking at someone who you want to get coached by, they should at least have what you're looking for, what you want, your dream goal, right? So if your dream goal is to find your dream woman, the coach that you're working with should have that, okay? They should be with their dream woman, and she should definitely be attractive, especially if, he's a dating coach, right? And a woman, same thing. They should at least be married or have a woman for sure, they should be married, right? I mean, it wouldn't really make sense if, she's not married, right? Because that's like women's biggest goal. Some guys don't want a marriage, they just want like a life partner. They want like a dream woman to spend the rest of their life with, a companion. Maybe they got burned in the past, okay? But at least the coach that you're working with should at least have that, right? And not only that, but also proof on other guys that have found their wife, have found their girlfriend, have gotten into meaningful relationships, right? Because the truth is, like, the difference between men and women when it comes to mate strategies and being able to find the right person is completely different, right? If you're a woman who's pretty, it's really easy to just, get guys that come to you, really, right? Like, for example, let's just talk about like if you go out, right? If you go out at night and you want to like meet a girl, right? Let's take two scenarios here. One scenario is a woman that, dresses up. She's going to go out. She looks good. She doesn't even have to be the hottest. She looks good, right? Is at the bar somewhere out, right? If she's out in the bar and it's at night and she doesn't do absolutely nothing, what do you think that's going to happen? Like if she's just like, let's say she's sitting by herself, at the bar, or, maybe she's with another friend that's somewhat attractive, right? What do you think is going to happen to them the whole night? And if they move from area to area, from bar to bar, from setting to different setting, what do you think is going to happen? Well, by now you should know what's going to happen, right? But if you go out, right, that they're going to get hit on by other guys. Super simple, right? It's like very logical, right? It's like if a cute girl goes to a bar, she most likely is going to get hit by a couple guys there. And if she goes to another bar, same vice versa, right? And if she's like maybe at the grocery store or coffee shop, or these scenarios in real life, maybe she won't get hit as much like in the day, but there will be some guys that will still approach them and start a conversation with them because they're pretty, right? Not every guy's going to do it because not every guy has that kind of confidence, right? Skills, one to do that, especially now with social media. But at the bar, you can guarantee that most guys are going to hit on her, right? So she doesn't have to do anything at all, no skill and like that involves finding someone. If anything, a woman can just go out, and if she says in her mind, I want to hook up with someone, she can hook up with someone. At the end of the night, she can go home with someone. For a guy, let's take that same scenario and use a guy now, right? A guy going out, he doesn't do absolutely nothing, right? He doesn't talk to anyone, he doesn't do anything. What do you think is most likely going to happen to that guy? You can be willing, like I'm willing to bet like 9 out of 10 times, even 10 out of 10, right? Most women are not going to do anything to that guy. They're not going to approach the guy. They might if he's like really, really good looking guy or something like that, right? Or if he has like some type of status, right? If he's like Leonardo DiCaprio and goes out to the bar, of course, right? Because he's got that fucking status. Like who wouldn't, like what girl's like, I know, Leo, I like your movies. Of course, but if you're just an average dude, and an average dude could be just like a guy that's like working in tech, nobody knows what he does. He's kind of quiet, keeps to himself, or just, another profession, something like that, goes out, doesn't talk to anybody. Most likely women are not going to talk to you. Nothing's going to happen. And, it's not going to lead to anything meaningful, right? It's not going to lead to anything, finding the right person, right? So that's the difference between men and women. So how can a woman really truly show you how to attract a woman, especially in real life, besides like the dating apps, right? Giving you like the surface level, fix this apps, right? Does that make any sense, right? Think about that. When it comes to a man, it's in his skills. Everything as a man is, you got to level up your skills, okay? You got to level up your social skills, your communication skills, your risk-taking abilities to approach women at night, right? Your mindset to persevere through rejection. Maybe you want to talk to the hottest girl in the bar. She rejects you. Ugh. But how can you bounce back? How can you take it in the chin and keep moving forward, right? How can a woman really tell you, hey, like you got to just keep going, when she doesn't know what it's like? Because most guys, we're visual creatures. If a girl's pretty, what are you going to do, right? Like, we don't really care if she has the best personality, right? For a man, personality can be one of the greatest assets because it's about making a woman feel a certain type of way. If you have good vibes, create the romantic vibes, right? So it's a skills game, right? Obviously, you got to do it all, right? You want to like work out, you want to look good, all the surface level, advice, like take care of yourself, work on yourself, take care of your career, et cetera, work, have a nice fashion, go to the gym, all that's stuff that, any woman can say, or any friend can say. But what I'm talking about is the skills game of communicating with a woman, right? That's another level in itself. Okay. So that's where you have to really think about it, right? Like, how can a woman really do that? I'm sure there's some women, but still, it's really hard. And I'll give you an example, right? So because I'm a dating coach, if you guys don't know by now, one of my consultations, there was this person that applied, and we did a call, and it was just like a discovery call. It wasn't like a coaching call, but it was pretty crazy, right? I'll just give you the premise, because it all comes back to this, right? The point that I'm trying to make. There was this woman that came in. she wanted to get a consultation with me, discovery call, and just she transitioned from being a woman to a man. Okay, so she was like a trans, right? And she looked like she was fairly pretty, like she was like pretty like as a woman before, because as a guy she had that like feminine look, right, as a man, and she was like taking like testosterone and like pills and stuff to like add more testosterone and like I think like estrogen blockers and things like that, whatever. But she was telling me, she was like, when I was a woman, it was so easy to to date, because guys would just come and approach me and it would be so easy. The conversations are so easy and all this, and like I didn't have to do anything. But when I transitioned into a man and I'm trying to meet women, it was so hard. Like no one really wants to talk to me. They kind of ignore me. They reject me. I don't know what to do. What do I need to do? Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, I wonder why. And that right there encapsulates what I'm trying to say. Okay. It's hard. You put a woman in a man's body, and whatever she did to get attention from guys, if she's trying to attract women now, it's going to be a lot harder. You need skills. You need the right systems, the right frameworks, the right understanding, right, of knowing how to create that attraction, right? And if you're, like I said, that's why it goes back into like, can you actually really learn from a woman on how to find a woman? The whole analogy is like, don't ever ask a fish how to catch a fish. You ask the fisherman, right? So this is a big concept right here, guys. And as you notice in this video here, they're catching these women, and eventually, as the years go by, there's going to be more and more and more that are going to get caught. And that's why, like, you got to do your homework, man. You can't let an attractive girl, a cute girl, who's like, oh, she's nice to look at, help you, because it's going to be hard, man. Especially like finding the right woman, and most importantly, keeping the right woman, right? You want to learn from a man on how to keep a woman. Like for me, I've been married. I've been married to my wife. So we've been together for 8 years. We've been married for a couple years, and we were dating for 5 years before I got married to her. And we were married for 3 years now, and now we have a beautiful baby girl. And I've noticed that the relationship skills compared to the dating attraction skills on like just getting a good woman, it's a different ball game. And that's another thing too that I see a lot of times. Guys are trying to take advice from people that are not married, that are not in long-term relationships, that can't even keep a six month relationship, or 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years, right? If you want to learn how to keep a relationship, you need to learn from people that are at least 6-7 years plus. They're like married, that have kids, because I've noticed there's always challenges along the way. Like, for example, when we got married, there was challenges along the way. Like, I'm not going to say I'm a perfect person, because I'm not. I make mistakes all the time, right? But I learned from those mistakes, and our relationship got better. And then when we had a kid, there was a lot of challenges that we faced, and no one ever said anything. Like, everyone always gives the surface level advice. Oh, you're just gonna have kids, you're not gonna get any sleep, da, 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 da. But there's so much more than that, right? And we had challenges, but we came back and we made our marriage a lot stronger, right? So like along the way, and when, like, for example, when you move in with that person, same thing, there's going to be challenges there. So that's the thing. It's like, you want to learn from the people that have what you want. And if your goal is not just to only have a woman that you're excited about, that's your companion, that's your lover, your friend, right? Someone that you can travel with, someone that you can share your life with, your success with, right? But being able to have that and maintain that, you want to make sure that you're learning from other guys that have that show you, hey, this is how you lead her. Hey, this is the difference between how dating and relationships is. Hey, this is how women are emotional. This is what I've learned. If I could go back into when we first lived together and we got married and kids, and if I had all the knowledge that I have now, I would have never made these mistakes. That's why, like, the clients that I work with that have already got the girl and they're in meaningful relationships, now they're working on the relationship skills I'm showing them how to actually have a really strong relationship. And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey with my clients. You know, some of my clients got married, they met their wife, some through cold approaching, some through dating apps. Other guys are going to propose to their girlfriends that they've been with for a while. Right. I have one client that's a mechanical engineer, is going to propose in like 2-3 weeks. I have another client that's going to propose to his girlfriend this December. I have other guys that are probably going to propose next year. I have other guys that gotten girlfriends, they're getting more dates. So like, it's been an amazing journey. But I always tell them, just because you got the girl, that the journey just started. Now it's about maintaining. Now it's about actually having a really strong relationship, a strong marriage that lasts and stands the test of time, right? So let's keep going. But I hope you guys get my point, right? You gotta, next time, don't let a pretty face fool you. Make sure that you're learning from someone that has what you want, okay? So let's keep going with the video.
Value man course.
Cool.
And she unwifed. She was like a permanent side chick. She likes that shit apparently.
Jesus Christ, my God.
You want to know one of the funny parts too? She tells women not to be attention seeking, to value themselves, to treat themselves well, to not, look for like cheap attention online.
And then that's what she does.
No, there's like one that's really funny. Look at this shit.
So it's kind of like the mindset of a lot of men. What they don't realize is women
You didn't see it?
anything,
No.
especially
I'll play.
kind of like the mindset of a lot of men. What they don't realize is
You see it?
No, I don't know what to look at.
Look at her midsection.
we'll get a lot of girls. So it's kind of like the mindset of a lot of men. What they don't
mindset of a lot of men.
I saw it.
You see it?
All of a sudden, like it changed.
She uses a body filter.
Yeah,
The waist
it's-
filter.
it's
It's
changed.
literally
It
warping
changed,
the
but
area.
it changed. But I'm not. Yes, a girl like that. That's exactly what they do.
No, but it's interesting because she's like, women have to present themselves well, do good, you know what I mean? Be presentable, not be attention seeking. But because her audience is men, even though she's selling psychology, she's selling sex. She doubles up as a side piece, little sugar baby, right? But even the men she's attracted to her coaching is because she's hot. And remember there was a video we did a while back about the wizard Liz?
Yeah.
And how women follow her because she's a hot woman who
Yeah,
says a lot of
that's
this
the
goofy
marketing.
shit.
It's
The
marketing.
same thing with her. If this was an ugly woman, a lot of single men would listen to her advice or pay $8,000 for her coach.
Yeah, one of the things that I would say to that, what he's saying is like, he's like, I don't know any dating coaches that are, not attractive, that are female dating coaches, right? And I would probably agree with that, right? Most of the female dating coaches, I would say, are fairly attractive. And that like makes guys think like, oh my God, like, she has all the answers because she's pretty. She's, pretty to look at, and she's going to coach me and I'm going to succeed. And, because, she's pretty. And the reason why this is like a thing that like gets guys is because, we're visual creatures, man. I mean, that's how we're hardwired, man. If we're attracted to a girl, it's like a light switch. We're not thinking like, are we or are we not? I'm not sure. It's like, yeah, we are. And if we are, that's like our kryptonite, right? That's like, I always talk about how like the eyes, can deceive us and can, put us in bad situations. That's why a lot of times guys choose the wrong woman. They would choose the wrong woman because she's like a trophy wife, but she's like horrible. She's like cheating on the dude or abusing or doesn't give a fuck about the guy because they're picking the girl based off of, right here and, this head over here, right? Rather than like what's really going on under the surface, right? And that's a really big thing that guys need to understand, get better at, and learn how to choose the right woman, because that's super, super key to having a relationship, marriage that lasts forever, is making sure that you choose the right woman. I mean, it was the book Think and Grow Rich. I mean, he talks about the 15 reasons why most men fail. He talks about it. I don't quote me on exactly which one is it, but it's like the 13th, 14th. The reason why most men fail, he says, in one of them, he says the reasons why they fail is because they choose the wrong woman. That brings a lot of misery, that kills their ambition, that kills their drive, that kills their happiness. And then they just kind of quit on life because, it's mentally draining. It's mentally, physically tax draining, not to mention financially too, right? So that's why it's super important who you choose as a life partner, as your wife, is going to be one of the most important decisions of your life, besides choosing your purpose. And the number one, God, right? Making sure that you have God, in the foundation, You know, that's the foundation of the marriage, of the relationship. I believe in God, you know, so that's one of my key successes of why my marriage is still going strong, because of that. We both have that. Now, not everyone here is Christian, right? And that's okay. I'm not here to convert you or anything like that, but I'm just saying that's a foundation that we both have together, that like no amount of therapy, no amount of anything can actually do, especially if, we're praying together, we're going to church together. If, when we have kids, we raise them right, we're showing them the way. And, we build those, core values like that. Right. But yeah, like I was going to say, like, don't let women deceive you. Make sure that you choose the right woman. And sometimes, you got to let that pretty girl go who you think is like so pretty and you're like, so like, proud of, to like let her go because she's actually not the right one for the long haul, and like keep going. Right. It's like your willingness to let women go because they're not the right one is a great power that you have. But a lot of guys don't think like that. They're like, oh, she's the prettiest girl, that's it, done. And then their whole life is screwed. Right. That's why I help my guys make sure that they choose the right woman. Right. So there's a big thing there. And that's why like the facade can, that's why sex sells. You know what I mean? Think about it. That's why porn is huge. That's why OnlyFans is huge. That's why, these female dating coaches are crushing it, with their audience of guys, because the guys are like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, she's really pretty. Look at her. It's like, dude, come on, man. Make sure, get out of that facade and make sure that they have what you want. Right. Make sure. If you're going, same thing for like if you're going for like a male dating coach or a male coach that shows you how to meet women, especially the right one, right? Like make sure that they have what you want. If you're looking for your dream woman, a life partner, some like a meaningful relationship, make sure that they have that. Because a lot of guys that I know, they don't have that. They keep going through girlfriends and they're meeting these type of women that are not wife material at all. They're meeting women that are like kind of strippers, man, and like OnlyFans and like, porn stars and things like that. And, that's another thing. That's another facade that, guys are like, oh, well, they have a bunch of hot girls around them. Like they must know, like they must like have the answer. You got to be careful there. It depends quality of woman, what you're talking about. Quality. When I think of quality, I'm thinking wifey material type of quality of woman, not a woman that just, has been tossed and turned all around, goes to the clubs all the time, goes out to all these party events, goes into, all these places that always have to do with liquor and drugs and, making bad decisions and, sleeping with guys all the time like that, and then, she's going through that and you're like, oh, those are quality women. It's like, hold on a sec, brother. We're looking, and not to say that I'm a perfect person, that I haven't had my fun, that I haven't done that, right? Because then I'll just be hypocrite if I said that. But when I was younger, but I knew that those weren't wife materials. And one of the reasons was because a long time ago, I got cheated on, like this was like 2012. And that was a huge wake up call. But if it wasn't for that moment, I would have never understood how to choose the right woman and who I'm with now. And, she's the love of my life. I love her so much. We've been together, like I said, 8 years. We have a beautiful baby girl. It's an amazing thing. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep building a family. I'm going to keep crushing it in my business and keep helping out as many guys as possible and continue doing what I love. I love doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been doing it for 15 years. And, the principles, philosophies that I learned from, on the mat, training 15 years, I apply them in, off the mat, in my business with my clients. And I show them ways on how to understand this. And one thing I realized is like social skills and martial arts, it's all the same. Business is also the same, So it's really cool the way that I show my systems and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is don't let the facade get you, man. Okay. Make sure that you have, you're going after the people who have what you want. That's all I'm saying. Right. But if you guys like this video, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be posting more reaction videos like this. It's kind of fun. I have a good time with it. I just finished working out right now. So I was like, oh, I'm in the mood to do it. Let's do it. So yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure that you follow it. And also I do have a school community for only $67. If you guys want to be part of it, join. I also do more high ticket coaching where it's one-on-one directly with me. If you guys want to, work with me, apply on the link below. We'll just have like a discovery call. I'll just, be able to dive deeper into your situation, your goals, your challenges. And then from there, I'll give you a customized game plan. And then if we work together, we're going to crush it just like every other guy. But yeah, Other than that, make sure you subscribe and make sure that you are smart with how you really think about this now, right? Make sure that you don't let beauty, deceive you. I'll see you guys in the next video.